Alright, boys, I'm trying to update the thumbnail. It somehow messed up and renamed the VOD to what I was trying to name the stream to. Super annoying, but it is what it is. I will fix it later. Alright, boys, I'm trying to update Alrighty. What is up, sons? It's Blind Run with Tech once again. And if you didn't know, the Gears 5 tech test is out this weekend. There's a lot going on. I feel super stressed out over the amount of things I need to do. But we got the Ryzen 3000 series going on. We got the Radeon 5700 XT and 5700 and the anniversary edition, all that going on. It's just, it's intense. X570, then Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Gears 5 tech test. It's insane. So the system that we are running right now, we'll just pop open hardware monitor and give you guys a rundown. We have an X570 motherboard running the AMD Ryzen 5 3600 right now currently, which is the 6-core 12-thread processor. We haven't really benchmarked it much. If you check my Twitter or my hardwarebot.org profile, you'll see a basic stock run. We're going to leave it at stock while we test this. Pretty much leave everything at stock while we test this, just so we get an idea of general performance. Obviously, the performance in the tech test probably won't be the same as the final game, but we'll see how it's running. We also have the 50th anniversary edition of the 5700 XT that we're running as well. Today, I'm going to probably go ahead and use OCAT. I think OCAT's going to be our best option for benchmarking this title, and then hopefully the Gears 5 tech test should be open, and we can at least get in queue. How's everybody doing today? Good to see you here, YouTube watcher. Next weekend is QuakeCon, and we'll be leaving Wednesday to drive up there for that. Okay, I didn't think that would actually be working. Let me do this then. Here. Oops. I'm gonna have to close the game again. Yeah. Relaunch it. Make sure the overlay's in the right spot. So, let's go over the overlays. We have OCAT for capture. So I can get detailed frame time data that's going to be in the top right. You'll also be able to see the hitching basically in the milliseconds, which should be above my head. Let me get the overlay turned off so you guys can see all this better. Boom. Overlay's just for gaming. For testing, you guys need to see more details. So there we go. On the left side is Riva Tuner statistics. You have your GPU core temperature, inner and outer. And then your GPU usage, your GPU clock is next to that to the right. Core power consumption is right next to the core clock. And then you have your, what was the 16% again? I'm blanking right now. I forgot. Oh, fan speed. Fan speed is all the way over at the right top. We have memory, that's GPU memory, and its clock at 875 megahertz. All of your CPU threads and the percent usage of those threads so we can see if it's threaded well. And then from there, underneath that, we have the CPU clock. Keeping in mind this is a Ryzen 5 3600 at stock, and we're seeing like 4.2 gigahertz, which is pretty damn good. and then RAM usage, so system memory, and the system memory is currently clocked at 3200 megahertz. Boom! Under that's the frame rate, but you can also see the frame rate, a more detailed one up at the top right. It looks like we're in DX12 is going to be the API. Glad it's Friday. Cheers, sir. Well, GPU temperature seems pretty bad. That's real bad. Let's make sure our fan profile is kicked in here. Then we're gonna get a default fan profile has been pretty shitty on the Radeon. There we go. Now the fan's cranking. Jesus. Let's knock that temp down. Will L, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Got our brightness settings. I do want to use my Xbox controller. I need to go get it. As soon as we turned on that fan control, you know what we're going to have to do? Hold on. Something's going on with MSI and anything. MSI Afterburner's been fucking up the screen. It makes it flash. So I think we're going to have to come into Radeon settings. Global settings, global Wattman. Check out the fan profile. Where's the fan profile here? Is it here or is it somewhere else? This is it right here, right? All I really want to do is go to manual and then let me control it, but I think we might have to bounce the system for it to let me do that now at this point. Oh, there we go. Look at that shitty profile. Dude, at 90C, we should already be at 100%. That's the stock profile. It's such a shitty profile, dude. There we go. That should resolve that. They really need to fix that stock profile. It was letting it go all the way up to 100 degrees C. Alright, let me grab my controller real quick. There we go. Insert SpongeBob meme in response to stock fan curve. Oh, so that's been on all of my 50 or both of my 5700 XTs. Is that stock fan curve? Are you seeing that too, Keith? Is that what it puts it at? That ridiculously low one? It gives performance like a mother trucker? Oh, we're gonna have to bounce. I think we just crashed that shit. Fine. It's because we, MSI Afterburner's not working very well with these cards yet. It's what I've come to find. We'll just use Wattman and get the fan profile applied. Yep, okay. So you're getting the same stock fan profile. Don't you think it's a little ridiculous? It's almost like they're gimping their own cards with that. I don't get it, dude. It's weird. I don't know how large the install is. That's a good question, Will. I'll take a look. See if I can figure it out. It was pretty small, if I recall. Like, less than 30 gigs. Well, so this is the tech test, though. So there's no game data in here. There's nothing like, I think it's only multiplayer. We'll hop in and verify that, of course. Alright, so I think the fan profile... Oh, yeah. So I need to do this real quick. And then bounce it. Yeah, Gears 4 was 100 gigs. Lots of textures. It's kind of going to be the standard, though. I think at this point. Most games are getting close to that 100 gig. And if they aren't, then they have to release a 4K texture pack on Edition to download separately. Monster Hunter World, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Alright. Okay. Let me check Radeon settings and make sure that fan profile got set. Come on. I'm going to throw it on the top left hand. God dang it. Alright, dude. If you're at 90C, you should be at 100% van usage. If you're at 80C, we should probably be, let's see if we can keep it lower, maybe 60% or something. But it's going to crank to 100% because this thing's been hot. I already own it. It's in the system right now, NBO. And it is shit. My 5700 XT non-anniversary edition is faster. Overclock's better. So they didn't bin them. And my Silicon Lottery on the anniversary edition was pretty bad. Unfortunately. But we're playing on that one right now, dude. On the anniversary edition. I'm just mad that I got a bad Silicon Lottery out of one that's more expensive. I heard Timmy Joe's did that. Keith told me. Trying to get this to connect. Timmy Joe probably peed on his. He put it in a freezer, dude. You can't RMA something that's not broken. I can return it though. Yes. Haha, YouTube watcher. Coming in with the jokes. Golly, the load times for the tech test is insane. Let me get the audio synced up. Give me 1 second. Sounds a little out of sync. And we'll sync our save data at the same time. Woohoo! I've played quite a bit on the anniversary edition, but we'll see what happens. Oh shit!
Yo, Baird, how long is it gonna
Dude, it's story for real?
Where are you?
Where you told me to go.
Oh dear, miscommunication. Dave, uncloak.
Awesome.
All right. Can you at least see Dave?
Awesome. I'm super excited now. This card is loud as fuck though. Alright, Dave.
Yeah.
It was gonna ask me anyways. Damn it.
All right. Working on getting that module powered up.
It's just hurry.
Ah, lights are glitched. Iris, open the doors.
Certainly, Damon.
Probably isn't where we'll benchmark. Well, that probably works.
We had to get light in that box somehow, didn't we? Hang on, we'll set you down.
Oh. Tell me again why you got me out of my perfectly good bed for this?
All right. I want to upgrade our security bots for combat against the swarm. Everything you do, the sensors on your armor will record.
Man, you think your bot's gonna be able to compile my moves?
Yeah, I do, actually.
What's up, Bimby?
Nice landing, Baird.
Thanks. Okay, we need to calibrate those sensors, so just follow Dave. Good, now keep up with them.
Man, I could be having brunch right now.
Alright, Dave, where are you
Your
going?
waffles will be there when we're done, kid.
Oh, man. Alright, what did it automatically set this system to? 1440p, 100% scale on the resolution, vertical sync on. We'll turn this off. And where's our quality is recommended. Let's go to ultra, see if it'll do it, and then that way we just have a baseline. Ultra preset. Alright, so we have the ultra preset and capture starting now.
Gotta calibrate, kid.
Why is there a tutorial in a Gears game though?
Data's looking good. Dave, proceed. All right, Lieutenant. After every test, I'll update your TACCOM.
Personally, will I buy one? No, we will test them, but I will not buy one personally. I always buy reference models and put water blocks on them if I'm personally doing something.
What part of check your TACCOM didn't you understand?
Oh, look. I see Dave.
Wonderful. I love it. Anyway, now hit the keypad. Excellent. Iris, bring in the next module.
Incoming, Damon.
Oh, we'll get an Asher.
Step 1 for combat-ready DBs is making them use and understand cover, like you would. To the next piece of cover, please. All right, now swap to the adjacent piece of cover.
Golly!
Perfect.
Your tutorial is slow.
Hug that wall and move left. Pretend you're taking fire.
Oh, you want me to...
Good. Data's
It's
clean.
fine. There you go.
Now, let's make it more interesting. Our DB's gotta learn that enemies can still hit them in cover from an angle. Using the cover, break Dave's line of sight so they can learn how to move like a real gear.
All right, I'm down.
Dave, bring up your targeting laser.
Oh, you can't find me. Oh, you missed me.
Oh, you have to let it hit you first.
You know what? This is kind of fun.
Okay, let's wrap up this module with a cover mantle. Take cover near Dave. Now, mantle up and over. Good. So, how you feeling, kid?
You know, limbering up.
Iris, activate the sprinting trench.
Certainly, Damon.
So, game's running super smooth. See if
Running
it
full
continues
speed
into
while
combat.
keeping your head down does not come naturally to a bot, so let's show him how it's done. Race Dave to the other end, kid. Iris, countdown, please.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good. Now race Dave back to the start. Iris,
3, 2, 1, go.
Too slow, Dave.
all right, good job. Data's clean. Just think, every time a DB...
Oh, this tutorial sucks.
Lucky them. What's next?
Iris, ready the shooting module.
Finally.
Shooting module has been placed.
Okay, grab a Lancer, the COG's most trusted and versatile firearm.
Man, how could you not trust something with a chainsaw bayonet?
All right.
Hell yeah.
Guardians, take down their shields and destroy them.
Guardian online.
Okay, now aim down your sights. DBs love to hip fire. We need to change that.
I know how to fire a gun.
Now let's try using blind fire to destroy them while keeping yourself protected and covered.
Operational fire systems
Now
required.
that's good data. Put that in your thing.
For some goddamn reason, DBs have trouble nailing a
Seems like
perfect
they
reload.
changed the active reload.
Oh, perfect. That's gotta be solid data there.
That's
Not
fine
bad,
though.
Not bad, but let's up the challenge. Can you take down a moving target?
Unit online. System operational.
Gotcha. Easy peasy.
Good.
Lemon squeezy.
Let's move on to explosives training, shall we? Grab some frag grenades from the rack.
You sure you want DBs tossing frags around?
Have you met the swarm? All right, now equip it. Iris.
Lord, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
For Lieutenant Walker to blow up.
Yes, dear.
No, Lauren. I just give them away.
You didn't hear that.
Baird, how does blowing up DBs help train them?
So I haven't personally redeemed any of them.
Those
I think YouTube Watcher won the last one from me.
Okay, just like when shooting. Keep
Yeah,
your head
YouTube
down
Watcher
and
did.
blind toss
YouTube Watcher, how long did it take you to get it?
Citizen, prepare for detainment.
Grab more frags if you run out. Okay, you're not listening. Don't aim. Blind toss. Please.
Citizen, prepare for detainment.
Boom! With my eyes closed.
Great. Now open your eyes and target the rest. Just wind up, aim, and release.
The Xbox Game Pass?
That's one.
Terrific. This module's almost complete. You ready for a live fire exercise?
Thanks, Lauren.
Does Marcus like tomatoes?
An emphatic yes.
An
Grab
emphatic
some fresh
yes.
ammo and frags, then get back into cover.
Back in cover.
These Shepherd DBs are using shock rounds. Take them out.
No problem.
Aim for the head. They'll go down quicker.
Quick is good. Let's start.
And try mixing things up between firepower and explosives. I mean, it's the same thing.
Citizen City concerns deactivated.
All right, I'll admit it. This is way better than brunch.
Excellent work. Data looks good. Ready to move on?
Sure. Why not?
Great. Now for a quick exercise in field medicine. Iris, bring in the patient.
Field
Join
medicine.
us now.
What's wrong with him? Looks fine to me.
Dave?
What a pleasant day we're having.
Gears is always cool.
Yeah, baby.
I just wanted to get out of the stupid tutorial.
I got you.
I've been playing Gears too long to fuck with tutorials, man.
Now, word of warning. This next one's gonna sting a bit.
What are you talking about?
Dave?
Fuck you, Dave!
DB, help him up.
Damon, this is not part of the training protocol. Are you instead having fun with Lieutenant Walker?
Iris. Ignore her, kid. She's on the fritz or something.
Citizen, it appears you need aid.
Oh, you're a real dick bear.
Hey, kid, do me a favor and scrap that custodial unit for me. Just use your Lancer's chainsaw.
Really? Damn, man, that's cold.
So they did change chainsaw control. You hold the reload button and melee's whatever
Alright, I'll
this
make sure he gets
knife is.
recycled. Head over to Dave when you're ready to continue.
Well, might as well. Lunch is over anyway.
That's the spirit. Iris, initiate the next training module.
Preparing now, Damon.
There's some frame issues there. Whenever it seems like loading though.
Ooh,
Hell yeah!
better like this.
There you go, Bimby. We got the Nasher.
Come to Papa.
Come to
Clear out those
Papa.
shepherds. Need as much close quarters data as I can get.
Watch me work, baby.
That Nasher's made for close range combat, kid. So feel free to get in his faces.
Unit operation. Yes. Concern for citizen
What?
safety. Citizen safety concern.
Hey, you like that? I know I do. And done.
Good work. Oh, and Iris.
You just
we're
got
gonna clean up in Module
nashed.
7. Anyway, ready for the hand-to-hand module?
Come on, when you're born ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah.
Frame dips on the load are annoying.
Dave.
No, Isolate. I haven't tried it yet. I'm still playing on X570. I'm pretty much live.
Hand-to-hand combat
If I'm not at work
Use your
or
combat
doing
knife to
something
take out
that
the
I
activated
need
TV.
to with the family,
Seems a little unfair.
I'm
but
streaming.
okay.
All the testing's live. Literally everything I do now, if it has anything to do with tech, is live on the channel.
Unit operational. I'm here to help.
I figure that lends the most transparency that it could possibly lend.
Citizen
That's no good. You brought a gun to a knife fight.
Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to be hitting him. I'm not even.
While it's down, let's grab some finishing move data.
Fuck yeah! Let's try it with a Nasher.
Excessive, but impressive. All right, coming up next, some in-cover maneuvers.
No such thing as
Okay, take
excessive.
cover behind the neck shepherd. And now give it a yank.
It's not working. Oh, it's X. Got it.
And insert knife.
That's gonna be brutal in multiplayer.
Almost feel sorry for him.
Hey, with learning comes sacrifice. Line it up, mantle over, knock it back. And insert knife.
And I'm sensitive.
Okay, now let's teach him the counter. Get into cover.
Oh, there's counters?
He's coming for you. Counter him.
With what button?
Here, you.
Oh, nice.
Excellent. Now put him down.
There. This is mechanical
I
slaughter.
do like these new,
Well, what do you say?
mechanics.
Grab some data from a fair fight.
That's pretty cool.
Come on, man. This is me we're talking about. You don't have enough robots to make this a fair fight.
Oh yeah? We'll see. Gear up and we'll get started.
Motion blur usually is on when we do Ultra. And so, whenever you're benchmarking, it's easier to use presets because then other people know how to judge off of it. So that's, in particular, why I do that. I do want to keep the Nasher.
Iris, initiate combat simulation 12.
Damon, Combat Simulation 12 will provide a gear as skilled as Lieutenant Walker with minimal challenge.
Iris, I knew I loved you.
Okay. Simulation 13. Higher challenge, better results. Worst case, Dell's in the hospital for like a week or two.
Come on, Dave.
What now?
Oh, you'll see.
Where are we
Just
going,
get
Dave?
And we'll get started.
Golly, though. When it loads in, that's pretty bad.
defense mode.
Say hi to your teammates, kid.
Ah,
Hi, teammates.
Greetings, Lieutenant.
Iris, bring in their opponents. The incoming enemy units won't be holding back, so get me data I can work with.
Let's go, fellas. Team Dell all the way.
Down. Requesting assistance. All lawful targets offline. Assistance required.
Come on, Dell. Hunt him down and take them all out.
Targets acquired.
I don't need to hunt shit, bro.
Suppress hostile target. Reloading weapon. Navy peacekeeper requesting assistance.
Executed.
Is that all you got? Because I got more to teach.
Nice work.
The engine's the same. I haven't noticed anything crazy over Gears 4, no.
Hope you got what you needed. I'm gonna go eat.
I will begin analyzing the data shortly.
Iris, what would I do without you?
I shudder to think, Damon.
Even the textures seem the same. Alright, so now we can go do the online multiplayer. Ooh. There's a fucking benchmark, dude. Fuck yeah. Let's get a run. Let's do 4K, 1080p, and 1440p benchmark runs. I don't know if I can do 4K. I'd have to swap some stuff out. I can do 1440p and 1080p though. Dude! Actually, yeah, we need to run these. I am gonna play one game and then we're gonna get all the benchmarking done. We'll do settings testing. Okay, sweet. So let's do this then. Close OCAT. Alright. So if I want to do, well, okay, so let's do this. Where is it saving this? Huh. Wonder why it loaded it there. I'm gonna say it runs like shit on a 1030. But you already knew that. Where is it saving the benchmark run? Usually it saves them in documents, so that's what I'm a little confused about here. Let me see where Gears 5 saved it. It should be similar to where Gears 4 saves it. That's not going to answer my question, is it? That is not going to answer my question. I'm going to get to play a little bit of Doom Eternal next week. Golly gee. No, that's not usually where they save the, and that was down here. I can show you where that was. That was right here. It's Windows. But if we went to, like, app data, that's not typically where they store the, actual run. I just can't. I just don't know where they actually or where they store it. Does it tell you in the game? So my other option would be turning on game bar and taking screenshots, or I guess it's possible to do sniffing tool. Is it possible to do sniffing tool? It is. We'll just do this. There's enough data on this to pull it, so that'll work for me. And then we'll do new folder Gears 5 tech test. And then this will be base run 1440p ultra. And then let's go see how much our performance gains change here. So back. That's where I checked first, Will. I don't know why it's not there. But it was not. Actually, before we do that, I just want to go play a versus, and then I'll futz with that. There's already ranked. Interesting.
Thanks. Thanks.
That's a little annoying. I'm afraid that means they're gonna have loot boxes and shit. But, oh well. Going to QuakeCon. Signed up for the Doom Eternal demo. Dude, Max snipping tool is way better though because you can shortcut it. Command Shift 4. So quick. This doesn't seem good. Is matchmaking pretty much broken right now? No, everybody. You have to sign up for it. I mean, you have to be going to QuakeCon.
Got cover.
Watch it! Planting a grenade!
Oh, don't make me laugh.
Sweet!
I'll take that. Crawling's not gonna help.
So... These aren't real players. Lame.
Ammo's mine!
I got wrecked by a bot.
Bye! Thanks for playing!
Alright, this map has been around for a while, so we should be able to figure out what we're doing.
Good one!
Oh, that's interesting. So for kills and shit, you can just buy a weapon. Oh, lag! Fucking lag. Stop.
Someone get over here now!
God, I suck with this.
Thanks for that.
Dirty, nasty Nate. Wrecked my world. That's a real player.
Find whoever did that. Good one. Hey, quit crawling!
We're almost done here. Finish strong.
Oh shit! Dirty, nasty Nate in his bow.
What just happened? Saw that. Nice. Time to put you down. Hey, dick! Throwing smoke! Incoming flashback! Nailed that one! We're out of luck! Throwing fire!
Try to flank these fuckers.
Teamwork.
Hell yeah!
A real
Yo,
gear
Abraham,
lives
welcome
by
to the
the
stream.
damage.
How you doing today?
You are real gears.
Thanks.
You got mad with Rage 2, loved it, and then it was finished in no time? I guess that happens though, right? Alright, let's get down to the dirty business. Let's get down to benchmarking. Let's do it. Alright, so what I like to do with tech test benchmarking is figure out like which settings are the best to change for the most performance increase. So we're going to start doing that. To do that, what we do is we come into video settings, and right now we're set to ultra, right? We have a base run of 1440p ultra, which is everything turned up hopefully all the way, and then what we're going to do is turn one setting all the way down at a time. So we're going to start with character texture detail, apply the setting, and then run the benchmark. Oh, because of the cutscene? Yeah, I'll fix that. I'll fix that on that one. Should be good right now. Thanks for letting me know, dude. My bad. It's because we were playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which we're going to start part 2 of that in an hour at 7:30. And we'll probably be playing Ultimate Alliance 3 all night until we beat it. So all night and into tomorrow morning. So we have an hour to get some numbers here. Alright, Star. I'll try to remember. This was character detail. And so then what we can tell from this, just to give you guys an idea, I've talked through this before, but what we do is we come in here, right, and we take a look, and then we can see here that our average frame rate was like 74.7, and then on character detail is 74.7, so we didn't have a change in frame rate, so adjusting that setting is kind of a moot point. And then we can verify by checking here that it was turned off for that benchmark. Right, so then we're going to come back over here. And what we're looking for are the settings that matter most, right? So we're going to come into video. We'll crank this back up to ultra. We're going to take world texture detail, turn it all the way down. Make sure it applies. Run benchmark. And I do this for every setting, and then I'll create a chart. You guys can find other games that I've done this with. I usually like to do it with both an NVIDIA card and an AMD card. So we'll pop in like the RTX 2080 and do this, and then we'll compare the data and see if there's like a setting that also favors one manufacturer over the other. I just leave it at like 40 or 60. I don't know what it goes up to. Goes up pretty high. 220. Does not go down as fast as it goes up. That kind of sucks. So here we had an average frame rate of 78. And so how we would calculate that out. Dang it, dude. Now I gotta like tap this all the way down to 60. Is I will just basically go do... You can Google one. Like a percent change calculator. And then what we would do here is essentially, oh, this is pretty nice. Find a percent change. They got it in Google now. So if we did like 78.6, and then we did, what was the other one at? It was the base run was at 74.7. You can see that there's a 5% increase in frame rate from that setting. So this particular setting is... Well, let me get my snipping tool, but was world texture detail. So turning that down, we can get a 5% gain in FPS. And then I'll create that chart out, and then you guys can look at it if you're trying to get the best frame rate in the game and kind of get a pretty good idea of what settings actually affect frame rate and which ones do not. So then we're going to pop in Pop that up to ultra, and we're going to test effects texture detail. Yeah, but percent change makes it easier to calculate across multiple GPUs what your frame rate would be, right? And it works out to being consistent across all graphics cards, at least within manufacturers. So if you have an AMD manufactured card, you can expect a 5% change in FPS or increase in FPS with that setting. He fucked me up. I forgot to turn this back down. Oh god, I just burned my coil. New coil time. I do not have the juice for that. Alright. That didn't taste burnt. We're okay. That was hot as shit, dude. So here we had 75.1. What do you mean looks better, Star? That's going to be effects, texture, detail. So we're going to turn cone stepping map off. I wonder what that does. Add depth to surfaces based on distance from the player. Add depth to surfaces based on... Oh, okay. Interesting, dude. I haven't seen that as a setting before. Let's see if it has a performance hit from it. Oh, you mean the way the actual, it renders it or whatever. Yeah, so it's also going to depend on, that's also going to depend on monitor capabilities. But NVIDIA won't auto set color depth. What you're talking about though, Star, is color depth, and that can be adjusted, and also that's subjective. It's not really an objective metric, unfortunately. Alright, which one was that one again? We turned it off. Did it not apply? Well, that would explain the score then. Because it was... Cone step mapping. Okay, no, it was on. Just wanted to verify. No change in cone step mapping, so I wouldn't really worry about that setting at least. I would leave it ultra. Alright, let's do texture streaming. Luckily, none of these are really requiring a reboot, which is really nice. At least yet. Alright, something went wrong there. Might have to restart the game then. Or that GPU's getting too hot and we gotta give it a break. Which I would assume that GPU's getting too hot. I forgot the setting we changed. Let me double check again. Texture streaming to low. Control the rate at which textures are streamed in. Lower settings will reduce memory usage, but load textures slower. So I guess, yeah, that wouldn't be much of a performance increase unless you were having texture issues. So that one would be something we would want to test on something with like a 4 gig card or something. See if it helps improve performance on one of those. On this card, it's kind of a mute point. So this is a throwaway on this card. It's kind of a useless metric because it's not going to show us anything. We would have to be essentially VRAM capped for that to take effect. Alright. Make sure it's at the lowest. I think you guys are... it's not prettier graphics, it's rendering the colors different. It won't have a performance metric. At least from my understanding, if we're talking about the same thing. Raul, we're at 1440p right now. I haven't done any 4K testing per se. Some superposition, stuff like that. It's in most new titles at 4K, it's under 60 FPS, so I find that to be not anything I would target this card at. There's some outliers like Forza Horizon 4 and such. Alright, let's grab. So we pulled off that. Well, that was a pretty good one. What setting was that? That was just anisotropic filtering, right? So that pretty much, yeah, texture filtering. I mean, that pretty much explains that one. There's nothing to save right now. It's a little loud. So this was at 8. So that wasn't cranked. We will need to crank that later to get the full change. There we go. I think the board partner cards will be pretty good. Yeah, I think so. I like the 5700 series has been my favorite AMD release since Fury. I don't really like the 5700. From the benchmarks I've seen, the overclocking caps, and the fact that soft power play basically doesn't work or doesn't make any difference. And talking to Keith about it, I don't think that there's any reason to buy 2 of the 3 cards they released. So we're using the anniversary edition right now, and it wasn't binned, so unfortunately it performs worse than my 5700 XT non-anniversary edition. So the only card I think really worth buying at this point is the 5700 XT base. Personally. So, what's going on, Eric? Intermittent reception? No! Well, thanks for being here the whole time, man. What setting was that again? I'm gonna keep forgetting. Since I'm talking to chat and shit. Let's verify it. Character level detail. Yeah, I didn't really think that would have much of a change. Who did RDNA versus Touring, by the way? Digital Foundry? That was a nice performance increase. Which setting was that? That was world level detail. That totally makes sense. When's the console release is coming? It's like next year, right? All right. Foliage level detail. God, this card's noisy as fuck. Alright. So, this one's interesting. What does this do? So, adjust quality of animation. Performance will reduce the animation fidelity, but best will increase the animation fidelity. Auto will allow the game to dynamically balance the animation fidelity. Huh. I wonder if this will give us any performance increase. That's an interesting one. That's a super interesting one. They're adding a lot of cool video settings. Microsoft Studios has gotten pretty impressive with their PC stuff. At least some of their devs have. Coalition definitely has. In turn 10, they've gotten really good too. That weird setting. What was it called again? I can remember what it does. Animation quality. So basically, it just changes the way that how. That's weird, dude. Dynamic shadow quality, I would assume this should have some performance increase for sure. Oh! I think Navi 20 is to compete with Ampere, or whatever NVIDIA ends up calling it. Oh yeah, that's the biggest performance increase we've seen so far. Called it. I had a damn feeling. And so that's dynamic shadow quality. Yeah, that's always going to be a big one. It's a good increase there. I'd turn that off in multiplayer every time. Every time. Oh, there's an insane level, too. We'll test that later, obviously. We'll have to do that later. Capsule shadow quality. Now, that's a new one. So what is that? Just the quality of soft shadows produced by characters in indirectly lit areas. Okay, got it. Understood. That makes sense to me. Had to update the thumbnail for the Marvel Alliance playthrough. There we go. Yeah, I didn't think that one would really do much for us. This capsule shadow quality. There probably are some spots in the final game where this would have more of an impact, and it'll be in single player. Yeah, tessellation usually is as well. You are correct, Lauren. Ambient occlusion. Let's bench it. Yeah, this one always has a big performance increase too. Look at that, dude. We're in the 80s solidly. %, average, dude. That killed it. Love it. I think I spelled that wrong that time. That's fine. Alright, so ambient occlusion intensity won't matter because that's going to be directly tied to that, so we're going to leave that alone. Tessellation, here we go. Yeah, the visual impact wasn't that bad either. I will definitely be playing with ambient occlusion off. At least in multiplayer. That one and dynamic shadows are getting turned off right the fuck away. For my personal gaming experience. Tessellation's not having near as much of a performance improvement as it usually does. I wonder how what the implementation is for it, or how their implementation's working on this engine, because it's definitely different. Definitely different. Because this should be... Yeah, it's not much of a performance increase. Not nearly what I was expecting. I mean, there was some for sure, but not to a crazy level. Volumetric fog does have an insane setting, so we need to keep that in mind. I don't know if it would be a Navi thing, right? So, Lauren, that's why we'll have to test the RTX 2080 and do exactly what we're doing here, but on the 2080. And then I'll take those two. And I probably won't have time today, because I got about 25 minutes before we go back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. But what I'll do is I'll get all the numbers for this. Then tomorrow or Sunday, I'll swap to the 2080. We'll do the performance, the percentage gain on the NVIDIA side as well. We'll compare and contrast the numbers, and then we'll be able to come to a conclusion at that point, right? Which will be fun. But yeah, this is, if you guys ever wonder what it's like being a tech tuber, part of the reason I do like doing this is so you guys see how repetitive and crazy it is. And also then, like I stated before, doing all this live means that we have full transparency. Volumetric fog quality. And I like being able to have full transparency. That way, if we get any negative comments, I'll be like, boys, you watched it live. Or, oh yeah, thanks for letting me know. I did fuck that part up. But hopefully, since I'm doing it live, one of y'all catches my fuck ups before we go forward with it. You know what I mean? Screen space reflection should have a decent performance impact. It should. This game runs beautifully, though, all things being considered. It's running really, really well for it not coming out for a while. There does seem to be some netcode issues, though, in the multiplayer. At least on PC. Yeah, we're going to get a pretty big gain out of this one. Nice gain. So, in case you guys were wondering, screen space reflections is essentially what ray tracing is trying to replace. And it doesn't really increase performance with the way ray tracing is replacing it, but what it does, it decreases performance, but it makes it more realistic and also easier for developers to implement. I have a whole video with a video game designer if you guys want to check it out, where we go over the gritty details in Unreal Engine 4 about it. It was a pretty good video. I enjoyed doing it. I learned a lot. Alright, refractions, let's go. I don't remember what engine. Yeah, it is Microsoft in-house. Let's see. No, it's not. It's Unreal, I believe. Gears 5 engine. It's still Unreal. Yeah, it's still Unreal. Duh. Because it was Blazinski or whatever the fuck who originally came up with the series, so they've kept the Unreal Engine, just stepped up as the Unreal Engine is updated. They've updated it as well. There's some Microsoft in-house tweaks going on though as well. I am going to use the restroom real quick, guys. I'll be right back. So give me just a sec. Let's see. That's not much. No hash rates on the 5700 XT. Also, this video specifically is one game. Is what we're working on right now. What was that setting? I left for a little bit. Let me refresh my memory. Refractions, that's right. But welcome to the stream, Bitcoin. What are you up to today? Still no efficient miners for RDNA either. So I don't have anything to really test as far as that goes yet. When they're available, though, we will test them. Particle spawn rate. This one's interesting. Haven't seen this as an option before. Adjust the spawn rate for some particle effects. Lower values will reduce or remove some particles from the world. Okay. Let's do it. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure you hit the like so YouTube knows that you enjoy it, and we'll keep going. Thanks for being here. I'm just getting more and more hyped for Gears 5, though. This is awesome. It's running so well already. That's right. Particle spawn rate is what that's called. Not much of a performance increase. I mean, a little, but nothing crazy. And that benchmark definitely has particles going on it. Lens flare. No change. Fair enough. Let's check out light shaft quality. Boom! Best way you guys can support the channel too is just by clicking that support button down below, and in return you'll get access to the goats. They look like that. Might as well do the shameless self-promotion here and there, right? Boom. Goats. This is light shafts, right? Yeah, light shafts. Boom. Give you the light shaft. Balloon quality now. Let's rock it. Rocket League. $11 for the tech test. It's not bad. Loom. Depth of field's not really going to do anything. Oh my god. It fucked up the game. This might be the first one that we have to do a reboot to apply. Yeah, the reboot seems to have... Well, we'll wait. We'll wait before we talk about it. But whatever it's doing for the depth of field is definitely requiring a reboot. It's impressive how many settings this game didn't need for a reboot. Yeah, I got the mic back on. More families showing up. So the kiddos were going crazy. I did read your whole statement, though. But you don't get to hear it again. Gade, welcome to the stream. Good to see you here, bud. We are going through the full performance testing of every setting on Radeon for Gears 5 tech test right now. We'll try to do NVIDIA's tomorrow. Because after I finish this, I'm going to stop and then we're going to start part 2 of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 playthrough with Slangerang and co-op. Which one was this again? This was subsurface scattering. Pretty much almost no change for subsurface scattering, but got, ooh, fuck, I have to rewrite it real quick. And that's when you start kicking yourself when you're benchmarking, when you make the mistake of not capturing the data you were trying to capture. Womp diddly womp womp. Yeah, I was saying I've never tried that. That's interesting, Will. Was all that I was saying. More useful than VR. Yeah, I always have that argument with people because people are like, well, VR. And I'm like, who uses VR? Not I, sir. I feel like it's just a dead gimmick. There's nothing compelling there outside of a couple titles. Motion blur. This won't receive any sort of bump, but we'll give it a shot. It'll at least turn off the annoying motion blur. There is a slight performance increase in motion blur turned off, so that's actually kind of nice because that's an easy one to pick and turn off. Awesome. It's an extra like 4 frames right there. And I think that's going to wrap up all of the graphic settings testing. Let's take a... Oh, no! Damn it! I messed up. I think that was it, though, right? So there's async compute. You can turn on and off. Diagnostic mode should give us... Oh, nice. So it's local app data, Gears 5. By the way, guys. So I think you were right on that, but I think it's storing it on my D drive. I'll have to take a look at figure that out. At least that's where diagnostic mode is being sent to. Tiled resources. would probably have an effect. So let's check that. What are these? Select which GPU. Okay, no. So tiled resources, the only other one that would have any performance increase changes. What do you mean? What the fuck? Alright, tiled resources off. Motion blur ultra. So this will be the last benchmark we have to run on this setup. We'll check 1080p performance just so we get it. And then I'll go over with you guys the settings that I'm probably going to run 24/7 on it with this setup. So for tiled resources, this is going to be the reverse. On improves the performance. We currently have it off, so even though it'll show like a negative in the percent calculator or whatever, basically on would be the performance is what I would assume here. If there's any change, which for this one in particular, it doesn't look like much of a change, if any. And then it's only really gonna affect anything. This is actually interesting. We got a performance increase, but what you'll notice is the VRAM usage went up to 5.23 from 4. So the reason you're getting a performance increase with it off, if your VRAM is able to handle it, like if you have enough VRAM, like in this card that has 8 gigabytes, then having it all load in without like the tiled resources, which would load it in differently. So in this case, what you would be looking at is with a card with less VRAM, if you're having VRAM issues, then you would turn tiled resources on to improve your frame rate. And then if you have a card that can handle loading all of that information in, then you would turn it off and increase performance. So this one in particular is more, what would you call it? It's going to be more dependent on what system you're running. So if we take a look through all of these real quick, let's pop in. Ambient occlusion we want to turn off. Depth of field we want to turn off. Dynamic shadow quality we want to turn off. Motion blur we want to turn off. Screen space reflections we want to turn off. Texture filtering we want to turn off. Really, I probably don't want to turn off texture filtering personally. So what I'm going to be looking at for my final settings, let's go take a look, is texture filtering. I'm going to leave alone. I want dynamic shadow quality off. I want ambient occlusion quality off. What was the other ones I want off? Screen space reflections. Which is only for multiplayer, by the way, that I want to turn that off. And now I want to turn depth of field to low. And I want to turn motion blur off. Where's motion blur? Motion blur off, and then I want tiled resources for this GPU off. And then if we run a benchmark on this, we should see above 95 FPS. Oh, wow. Those actually went way up. Perfect. Okay, so our average is like 120. Dope, dude. Yeah, that's like perfect settings for multiplayer. Checked out that time between frames, man. Right there at that 8 milliseconds. It's like, that's blocked 120 hertz, dude. Dope. I'm gonna call this optimized settings. We'll call it blind runs optimized settings. And I think I'll make that my final, because that is pretty much exactly what we were doing all those tests for, to find that. And look at that too. See how tight all of those numbers got compared to like what we were seeing on a few of them. Like even if we go look at what was it? The base. So that is the problem, though, that I remember. Turning motion blur off. That sucks. So they need to fix that. Turning motion blur off causes whatever this fucking screen flicker is. Is it coming through on the screen, too? Yeah. So, unfortunately, because that bugs me a lot. Man, that sucks. I wonder if we can get away with just like motion blur on medium. And that won't happen again. Let's see. So those will be final optimized settings once they figure out whatever bug that's causing that in the menu system. And that's for motion blur. If you try to turn motion blur all the way off, that happens. What we can do to get around that is going to be turning it to what we just did and then taking the intensity and rolling it all the way back. Not your normal miner. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. Yep, so that gets rid of that. Dude, what a bust. So the two things we can do on motion blur to reduce it as much as possible is going to be that and that. Let's see how much that hurt our performance. It shouldn't hurt it off too much. You didn't have that issue isolated? That's interesting. It's only motion blur. It seems to be the common thread for me, at least. So that would be my next question, though. What's your refresh rate at? Huh. Yeah, I'm on 144 hertz panel as well. That's gonna work for me though. I'll be happy enough with that, I suppose. Oh, I got it again. I don't know what's going on there then. I'm just getting a weird bug. Only right here. That's crazy. So whatever, I'll turn that off and submit that bug, I guess. And call it a day. That is weird though. As soon as we switch. I don't know. Oh, and then we come back into here and it has that issue again. I wonder if it has it once it's loaded into the game engine. I'm going to wait and see. Even though I know it's hurting everybody's eyes and mine as well. If it'll ever find a match. Is everybody playing ranked or something? It goes away in game. So whatever. Something with the menu systems going on my rig.
For each feat, your arsenal will grow. Crush them.
God damn you, gifted.
Throwing smoke.
I need to know where the fucking weapons are. Bad. Not from behind! Golly, though. This multiplayer is really good. I'm not so hot on this enforcer weapon, though, but... Aww! I want the Nasher. Ah, yeah. Ah, fuck me.
Is that all you've got? Is that all you've got?
Oh, if you die with it, you lose that weapon. Interesting. Okay. Where is my teammates? Jesus Christ. Nice. Sniper's up. Ah, they picked it up. Can't shoot with that thing. That SMG is awful, dude. Dude, it's just all over the place. Ah! Need a weapon. Or ammo. One or the other. So not one on the ground. Shit. Fuck. At least I let him get him. I stuck in there too long. I need to get better awareness right now. Also, How does this work? Is it okay? Oh Jesus. I'm doing mouse and keyboard. I've never played Gears with mouse and keyboard, but the aiming's much better.
At this rate, they will slaughter you all. Break them now.
Flash like a bitch. No, Sin, I didn't have any issues downloading. I downloaded like on Tuesday though, and I know everybody started downloading today, so maybe the server's getting full. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, bud. Golly. Me too, Steven Johnson. It runs great. We just got done benchmarking. Fucking runs like a dream. The new mechanics are pretty dope. PC control... Keyboard controls seem to be improved over the last one.
I warned you not to underestimate the humans.
It's pretty great.
Perhaps I should have warned them not to overestimate you. Thanks.
I did bad that game. Well, I went even. Okay. I'm okay with that, I suppose. Yeah, it's only 10 gig download. Yeah, I'm going to be moving back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance as soon as Slaying is back. Alright, let's do King of the Hill ranked. And try to get better at mouse and keyboard here. Oh yeah. Gotta be Marcus. Did I ever tell you guys about the time I tried to trick my girl into naming our son Marcus Phoenix? I was this fucking close. And then her sister Googled it. And I lost. That went on for like, that was a good month or two. That was going to be his name. I was like, you know what name sounds cool? Marcus Phoenix, but spell it with a PH. So I was going to get away with that by like not using FENIX. And then the plan was that, and then the way I sold it was, then he would have the same initials as me because my name's Matthew Paul. So it would be MPH for me and MPH for him. And so that's the way I was selling it. And dude, I was so close. Sister got in my way. Seems like escalation is the one it defaults to for ranks, so let's see if it'll pick it up there. It's just domination with weapon picking. It is crazy how good this is on PC. Never would have thought it, boys. Never would have thought it. I think everybody's just doing the unranked. There we go. Oh, it'll show if you're on PC or Xbox up here. It's pretty cool. No! What? Loading profile. Creating match. So confused. Alright, let's just leave and then pop into the regular. I should actually probably take a break and go say hey to the kiddos and the family that just showed up, and then hop back on Marvel Ultimate Alliance when Sling is ready, which should be soon. Yeah, I'm going to do the responsible thing, guys. That's going to wrap it up for the Gears 5 tech test on Radeon GPUs, the brand new 5700 XT. It runs 120 hertz beautifully at 1440p, so I mean, if you're looking at a good GPU for Gears 5, I'd approve. Just use that Amazon link for me. I'll see you next Tuesday.